Today, we will discuss the very important topic, ozone layer depletion, in the subject of the environmental studies and the sustainable development. Ozone layer depletion is too much important topic for the human beings because due to the ozone layer depletion, many of the harmful effects are observed on the earth. Today we'll discuss about what are the causes are there, what are the effects of the ozone layer depletion, what are the control measures of the ozone layer depletion. At first we discuss about the ozone hole that is created in the ozone layer, which is made of the 20 to 45 kilometer above the earth stratosphere. Ozone hole is created in the region where the ozone layer has been depleted, and through the ozone hole UV rays enters on the earth. The term ozone hole is applied when the depletion level is below 200 Dobson unit. Ozone holes are first observed in Antarctica in 1970. First discovered the ozone holes in Antarctica in 1970. After that, few years ago, ozone holes are discovered in the Arctic region. Since the 2000, the rate of the ozone depletion is increasing 0.5% per year, which is the major problem of the environmental studies, and the environmental scientists are searching for that. Due to depletion of the ozone, UV rays are penetrating in the troposphere and leading to more ozone formation in troposphere, which is causing injurious effects on our health, as ozone is toxic to our body. Ozone hole formation, ozone layer is shown here in the figure. Here the troposphere is that from the around 0 to 15 kilometer and 0 to 10 miles from the earth's surface. Troposphere is there where the stratospheric ozone layer is to be remain there, and above that stratosphere is there. Hence this is the ozone layer, and this ozone layer holes are created and the UV rays enters in the ozone layer. This is the phenomena of the ozone layer depletion process. What are the causes of the ozone layer depletion? Natural causes are the sunspots, are the main causes of the natural causes. Stratospheric winds sometimes appears, which is the cause of the ozone layer depletion. The man-made causes are the chlorofluorocarbons. 80% of the regions are due to the chlorofluorocarbons, methyl chlorophor, and the hydrochlorofluorocarbons, carbon tetrachloride, etc. The figure shows how the chlorofluorocarbon gases, methyl chloroform gases are coming to the ozone layer, and the ozone holes are created here. And the sun rays enters, UV rays enters on the earth's surface and harms the earth's surface. These are the causes of the ozone layer depletion. Chlorofluorocarbon. Ozone depletion occurs when the natural balance between the production and destruction of the stratospheric ozone is disturbed. Stratospheric ozone is there, that is the zone is disturbed, hence the ozone depletion occurs. Although natural phenomena can cause the ozone ejection, however, the human exercises, for example, are CFC, chlorofluorocarbon, are presently acknowledged as the real reason of the consumption. All ozone existing synthetic connection contain chlorine and the bromine, and the chlorofluorocarbon are extremely unstable gas. which is creating the ozone hole. Non-flammable gas. Chlorofluorocarbons are also the non-flammable gas, so they are exceptionally immediately dissipated and can without much stitch reach in the stratosphere where ozone is available. Here they begin ejecting the ozone particles. Another second causes of the ozone layer depletion is the unregulated launches of the rockets. Another significant reason for the vast scale ozone ejection is the rocket dissipation. It has been concentrated that the unregulated rocket dispatches can result in the significantly more ozone ejection than the chlorofluorocarbons. It is assessed on the off chance that the rocket dispatches will be unregulated. At that point, it would cause enormous ozone misfortune constantly to 2050 than the chlorofluorocarbons have done. Hence, the unregulated launches of the rockets creates the ozone layer depletion. Another cause of the ozone layer depletion is the global warming. Global warming likewise prompts ozone layer ejection because of the earth-wide temperature boost and the greenhouse impact. The great part of the Earth is caught on troposphere, which is the layer underneath the stratosphere. As whole realize ozone is available in the stratosphere, so heat don't achieve troposphere and it stay cold. As the reconstruction of the ozone layer requires most extreme daylight and warmth, so it promotes consumption of the ozone layer. Another causes is the nitrogenous compound discharged by the human exercises in little sum like the nitric acid, N2O and the NO2 are the viewed as incredibly in charge of the ejection of the ozone layer. These are the causes. Nitrous compound are the major cause of the ozone layer depletion. The main causes of the ozone layer depletion is the human-made chemicals and ozone-depleting substances. Chlorofluorocarbons, widely used in the refrigerator, air conditioners, aerosol cans until the 1980s. Hydrochlorofluorocarbons, a substitute for the CFCs. Halogens used in the fire extinguisher. Methyl bromide, a source of the bromide that reaches the stratosphere. Carbon tetrachloride used in the solvent. Methyl chloroform used in the foaming agent. These are the causes of the ozone layer depletion. Halogens, methyl bromide, carbon tetrachloride, methyl chloroform. These substances are released into the air and slowly move into the stratosphere, where they are broken down by the UV rays from the sun. The breakdown release chlorine and bromine atoms which destroy the ozone. The ozone layer is constantly being created and destroyed through a process called the Chapman cycle. Chapman cycle is the cycle on which the ozone layer is constantly created and destroyed. This is known as the Chapman cycle. When ultraviolet rays react with the oxygen molecules, they create the ozone. The ozone layer depletion has led to increased cancer risk and other negative effects. For example, UVB radiation from the ozone layer can damage the early development stages of the fish, crabs, amphibians, or the other animals of the marine ecosystem also. They disturb the marine ecosystem. Hence, here the phenomena of the ozone layer depletion is shown here. Chlorofluorocarbon gases are penetrating the ozone layer, making the ozone holes, and the harmful UV rays are coming to the earth, and they harm the earth on the many ways. These are the complete phenomena of the ozone layer depletion is shown here. Ozone layer is there on the stratosphere, and the from the solar radiation, UV rays comes here, and UV rays is harmful to the human beings, plants, and the marine ecosystem. The effects of the ozone layer is discussed now. Effects on the human health. First, we are discussing that how the human health is affected by the ozone layer depletion. Ozone layer depletion increases the amount of the UV rays that reaches the Earth's surface. Laboratory and epidemiological study demonstrate that the UV rays causes non-melanoma skin cancer and plays a major role in the malignant melanoma development. Skin cancer exposure to the UV rays from the sun can lead to the increased risk for developing several types of the skin cancer. Malignant melanoma, basal, and the squamous cell are the most common cancer caused by the exposure to the UV rays. Eye damage. UV rays are harmful for our eyes too. UV rays are harmful for our eyes too. Direct exposure to the UV rays can lead to the cataract problem, also the photorist or the slow blindness. Damage to the immune system. Our immune system is also highly vulnerable to the UV rays. Increased exposure to the UV rays can lead to the weakening of the response of the immune system and the impairment of the immune system in the extreme cases. Aging of the skin. Exposure to the UV rays can lead to the acceleration of the aging process. It leads to the acceleration of the aging process of your skin. This will result in you looking older than what you actually are. Aging of the skins are there. Other effects in humans, exposure to UV rays can also lead to difficulty in breathing, chest pain, and throat irritation, and hampering of the lung function. Ozone layer depletion also affects on the plants. UV ray radiation affects the physiological development process of the plant. It is help and damages the development process of the plant. Now with considered component to decrease to fix these impacts and a capacity to adjust to expanded dimension of the UV rays, plant development can be straightforwardly influenced. Plant development can be straightforwardly influenced by the UV ray radiation. Characteristics change without the UV rays. For example, changes in the plant structure, how supplements are conveyed inside the plant. Timing of the formative stage and optional digestion might be similar and now and then more critical than the harming effects of the UV ray. Effects of the biochemical cycle. Increment in the UV radiation could influence earthbound and oceanic biological cycles. In this way, changing the two sources and skins of the nursery and artificial essences follow gases, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, carbonyl sulfide, ozone, and potentially different gases. These potential changes would aid to the biosphere climate criterion that alleviate or intensify the barometrical convergence of these gases. Effects on the marine ecosystem. Phytoplankton structure. The establishment of the amphibian substances networks presented to the sunlight-based UV radiation has been appeared to influence both introduction and the motility in the phytoplankton, bringing about diminished survival rates for these creatures. Researchers have shown an immediate decrease in the phytoplankton creation because of the ozone ejection related to the increment in the UV ray. UV ray radiation has been found to make up harm yearly formative phase for the fish, shrimp, crab, creatures of the land and water, and other marine creatures. Hence, it also affects the marine ecosystem, which is the most problem of the environment. Effects on the biochemical cycle. increments in the UV radiation could influence earthbound and the oceanic biochemical cycles, in this way changing the two senses and sinks of the nursery and artificial essential follow gases, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, carbonyl sulfide, ozone, and potentially different gases. These potential changes would aid to the biosphere climatic criticism that alleviate or intensify the barometrical convergence of these gases. Effects on the material. Ozone layer depletion has the effects on the material also. Engineered polymers normally happening, biopolymers, just as some different materials of the business in touch are automatically influenced by the UV radiation. The present material are some degree shielded from the UV by the uncommon and added substances. However, increments in the UV level will quicken their breakdown, restricting the period of time for which they are valuable outside. The effects on the air quality. Decrease of the stratospheric zone are expanded. Infiltration of the UV radiation result in the higher photographic separation rates of the key follow gases that control the connection of the reactivity of the troposphere. This can increment both creation in the domination of the ozone and related oxidant, for example, hydrogen peroxide, which are known to the effectively affect human well-being, earthly plants, and open air materials. Changes in the air saturation of the hydroxyl radicals may change the climatic lifetimes of the impressive gases. Effects on the climate change, ozone expansion, and environmental change are connected in various ways. However, ozone consumption is the certainly not a noteworthy reason for the environmental change. Climatic ozone effectively affects the temperature parity of the earth. It retains sun-based bright radiation which warms the stratosphere. It likewise assimilates infrared radiation produced by the Earth's surface, successfully catching warmth in the troposphere. What are the effects of the ozone layer depletion is shown here. Temperature changes and rainfall failures on the earth due to the ozone layer deflection. Climate change will be observed due to the ozone layer depletion. Crop and forest damage will be there due to the ozone layer depletion. Less ocean plankton will be there due to the ozone layer depletion. Less fish harvest will be there due to the ozone layer depletion. Infectious and skin disease on the animals, reduction in plant chlorophyll marine ecosystem, and disturbance of the microorganism may get harmful as well. Hence, now the conclusion of the topic is there. Ozone layer is continuously depleting, which is highly alarming situation of today. Chlorofluorocarbons are the real reasons for the ozone consumption. These substances to be restricted, or we should utilize their option so that in future we can shield ourselves from the fruitful impacts of the UV radiation. Human eye and skin are the most uncovered piece of the body to these radiation. So there is high level of the frequency of the visual deficiency and skin malignant growth and malady expanding step by step with the ejection of the ozone layer. Hence, thanks to all for watching this video.